All right, Micah and Cliff, welcome to Drunk Comics.
Yay!
And everyone watching at home or wherever you are, cheers. Welcome. I'm Kelly Gettner of Phoenix Sisters, and I am getting better at intros now that I'm having practice. The first year of this podcast was not pretty with my intros. So welcome y'all.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
Again.
for coming, for rescheduling with me after the first recording got completely trashed. For no good reason.
It's okay. We didn't say anything important.
Yes, you did. You were very funny. Audience at home, they were very funny. I'm the witness. I'm the only witness.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So, what are we here to talk about tonight?
We are here to depress everyone by talking about Identity Crisis from DC Comics.
It's a good thing we have drinks. First of all, I want you to show off your shirts. Good shirt. I love Zatanna.
Wait, see, it's got
Zatanna
black
on my
on.
shirt too, hiding. And then Cliff's shirt is there's an anachronism. Can you all see the anachronism? Comment when you see it. Also, you have to show off Plastic Man. You were showing him off earlier.
My 4-year-old loves it. Plastic Man starts here, and his head is under my armpit. Yes.
Or Plastic Man wants to be.
Exactly.
Truly believe that. And seriously, we're not going to clue you all in on the anachronism of the time period of the shirt, but we're going to give you another look. So look at the time period and the costumes all the characters are wearing, and look who's there, who shouldn't be. This is the mystery.
Do they win something?
Yes. They win knowledge.
They win knowledge. They win internet points.
That's right.
Geek points. I don't know.
Oh wait, no, it's a comic podcast. They win a no prize.
They win a no prize.
Yes.
They win the well actually prize.
That's an even better one.
Even better. Okay, so let's talk about this story.
You want to go first?
No, you.
Okay. Yes, we're reading Identity Crisis by Brad Meltzer and Rags Morales with wonderful Mike Turner, before he passed away, artwork on the covers.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, his art was
I have those real quick.
so beautiful.
This is. I want to
His
get.
art-
This, I want to get this shirt.
Yeah, it used to be a shirt, but I don't think it's in production anymore. I love that Wonder Woman.
Yes, that's iconic.
Yeah. I don't have it because I'm not cool enough to get all the variant covers, but there is another cover that I would have loved to have as a t-shirt, and I don't have it, so I can't show it off.
What was it?
It was kind of like the issue 2 cover, but it was more of a dynamic thing.
I want to just look at something real quick. Go ahead.
But yeah,
I'll
really
see if I
great
can
art.
find the image and pop it up on the screen.
Yes, because I'm at a loss of what it was right now, because this was 16 years ago.
Oh
Wow,
my
we're
gosh.
old.
We are.
Yeah. And technically, this is an even better comic for Mike and I to review, because this came out the year we got married.
Yay!
Happy anniversary. I don't know.
So
Not really. Happy
Identity
comic
Crisis.
anniversary.
It's gonna be 17.
yeah, so Identity Crisis was the second most depressing thing in 2004.
Wow. Ouch.
Oh, cool. She did wear this.
She's not paying
costume.
attention to me. So.
I'm not. I'm looking for something.
But
I
yeah.
like
Micah, if you want to leave him, I will run away with you.
Yay! See, I've learned just to ignore him.
But yeah,
It must be in the first one I was looking for.
no, but yes, Identity Crisis. It's a really important story.
He was so cute when I was reading it, because obviously he read it before me, and he just kept.
It was a really important story in DC Comics, but it was so depressing and dark.
So dark. I did love the Justice League run that came after it, which was less dark, and I
Yes.
enjoyed it. Like,
So I didn't know who this chick was.
Firehawk.
Fire.
Yeah, Firehawk. There are a lot of deep dives in here. This isn't a book you can just pick up and read if you're not tuned into DC Comics.
also,
But-
if you're looking for a happy Justice League read,
No,
elsewhere.
but I will say, I've always said, as far as what came from this is probably one of the most important comics in DC in the 2000s. Because
Oh yeah, for sure.
if you didn't have Identity Crisis, you could not have Gail Simone doing Villains United, which gave you the Secret Six. You couldn't have Infinite Crisis. None of that to go from where they were pre-Identity Crisis to where they were after. You couldn't have done that.
Wasn't Infinite Crisis where they killed Martian Manhunter horribly?
No, that was Final Crisis.
Oh God, I hate Final Crisis with a burning passion. No pun intended. I hate Final Crisis.
Oh, come on now. Superman sang a song at the end of the book and saved everybody.
Nope.
No, I didn't like Final Crisis, but from Infinite
You're right. Infinite Crisis was good.
Yes.
It was Final Crisis that I hate with the burning passion.
Yeah.
Final
And you couldn't have gone anywhere
together.
without Identity Crisis, which to me, my favorite time period in recent memory of DC Comics was from Identity Crisis through Blackest Night, because
Yeah, me too.
all of their continuity made sense. It didn't matter if you were an old fan or a new fan, it was all there for everybody. So from the standpoint of how important it was, I love this book. But from the standpoint of how sad it was, I hate this book.
That's fair.
Hate it.
I just had marked that one because I like that one, but go ahead.
So like 5 out of 10.
Yeah. Story-wise, 5 out of 10. Importance-wise, I'd probably go like 8 or 9. The art in is beautiful. If you don't know this, I mean, spoilers for something from 16 years ago. It's a murder mystery.
Because I think Brad Meltzer is a novelist, and I think he writes murder mysteries outside of the DC universe, if I remember.
The only thing outside of this that I ever knew about Brad Meltzer was he did a bunch of shows on the History Channel in that weird period where they weren't about history anymore, but they still pretended to be. And I
They
think
were making those fake documentaries.
Yeah, I want to say he did. It wasn't Ancient Aliens, but it was like Decoding the Past or something with Brad Meltzer. So yeah.
Okay, Sober Kelly, look up his novels because I know he's a novelist. Sober Kelly's got us.
Okay, good, because I don't know any of his.
John
novels.
Kelly likes to make a lot of work for Sober Kelly.
Okay. So
Kelly's kind of a bitch that way.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a good murder mystery.
That it was.
Ralph Dibny, the elongated man's wife,
He's not
Sue.
on for sure, is he?
No, they did not put elongated man on him.
Yeah, I didn't know much about him. I always. knew
I'm
about
sorry,
him.
Ralph Dibny is better than Plastic Man.
So yeah, I didn't know much.
I think he just broke my. Well, from the standpoint of Ralph is also a detective, and he's kind of a cool character. And if you ever read Starman, he's awesome in Starman. But yeah, if you grew up,
He's also a nicer guy.
yes, he's a nice guy. And if you read Justice League back then, him and his wife were such a cute couple, and they
They're
just
basically like Nick and Nora.
Yes, they were Nick and Nora Charles of the DC universe. And
If anyone recognizes that reference, y'all out there are probably too young.
mm-hmm. But you can Google
Well,
it.
you're not too young to drink. If you're too young to drink, maybe turn this off.
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
do a lot of telling viewers to turn off my show.
that's what's wrong with your YouTube algorithm. But what do you want to?
Nothing. So I did. It was really cool to have him as a character because I didn't know much about him.
Yeah. Ralph. Yeah, it's just a good story. The murder mystery unfolds and goes in a completely different direction than you think it does.
It is so messed up.
Yes.
So he gets a call from his wife.
Yeah, he gets
right?
a call from her because she gets killed on his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Ralph.
Because the beginning of the issue, it talks about he's out on
It's like
a stakeout with another obscure DC character, Firehawk. And he knows that it's not real. There's nothing really going on because Sue always tries to trick him with a mystery adventure on his birthday. And he always plays along because it means so much to her. And then he calls him out of the blue and's like, "You've got to come home." And he comes home and she is burnt to a crisp, dead on the floor. And she did end up tricking him because
he knew
about part of the party and part of the mystery of his gift, but she ended up getting him because what he didn't know was she was going to reveal she was pregnant.
Oh my God.
Got him like a little, what is that? Magnifying glass, but yeah, it had the pregnancy test on it.
Hurt Brad Meltzer.
Yes. And it starts.
Who hurt him?
But I mean, it is good from the standpoint of you get to it. One of the things I always liked about DC was there is such a feeling of community and family with all their heroes. Unlike the Distinguished Competition, where every time a hero shows up in somebody else's book, they fight. You know, they're all friends. And so it's really moving. It was really moving to see like the funeral and everyone there.
I cried when I saw it.
Yeah.
So on the funeral, obviously they can't show what they're all in costume.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah. And
why are you doing this to my drunk white girl sensibilities, man?
Yeah, let me just get another.
Yeah. And so
let's pour one out. Or let's hold one up.
Don't pour that on the bed.
Yeah, don't pour. Okay, let's just hold one up.
But
tears for Sue. Oh, we cry our white girl tears.
So it becomes a mystery of who did it, and
which is fascinating.
The number one suspect to Ralph was Dr. Light, who, up until this point in time, most comic book readers probably just remembered him as the guy that the Teen Titans beat up every other issue. But
so kind of B-list, because I'm sorry, Teen Titans, but you're not A-list.
Yeah.
You're A-list.
But he
of the Teen Titans.
He started off because he was an Atom villain. So he was like, he fought the Justice League, and then he became he got beat up by the sidekicks.
He got relegated to the B-list. What the hell?
That's right. And it turns out that a lot of secrets came out. Like, he raped Sue back in the 80s on the satellite. And
fuck, man.
The JLA basically convinced Zatanna to perform a magical lobotomy on him.
I didn't know they could do that, but
and that's what made him go from being an A-list villain to being beat up by sidekicks, because he
so messed up.
And it turns out that they were doing this to a lot of villains and to Batman, which after 1980, because he saw them doing it to Dr. Light. And I'm sorry, I know there are a lot of people who will get mad at this, but after 1985, Batman was an asshole. He needs lobotomy. I'm just saying.
Okay, but I'm just going to say, rather than lobotomize the villains, why didn't they just kill them?
Because they're superheroes.
Because they're superheroes, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But is it kinder to lobotomize them? What quality of life do they have?
don't know.
Why Kelly isn't a superhero. I'm just gonna say that. Nobody give me superpowers, please.
Yes.
Let's move
But
on.
yeah.
This is why I don't have superpowers.
So, I mean, I don't know, because if you really read the story, Wally West is like he's like our perspective through the whole thing, because, you know, Wally at this time, he's the Flash. And all of these guys were with his Uncle Barry, and he held all of them in such high regard. Kind of like if you grew up reading comics in that era, you know.
And Wally, so what the hell, guys?
So you get to see it from his perspective, and it's like, it's really jarring, because it's the way we look at it. It's like, you know, for you too young to remember, in the 70s and 80s, the satellite era of the Justice League, everyone smiled.
So sweet that you called me young. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm old.
We chicken
I'm so flattered.
Yeah. You know, in the satellite era of the Justice League, you know, these were like, this was it. They were the end all be all. They did nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they're just getting, you know, just this bucket of shit poured all over them now. And so it's good. I think it was really good they had Wally as your point of view for the reader for that. It's a very Marvel story, is the way I've always described it. Well, no, because this would be more of a Marvel story. You know, Captain America's sad because America doesn't like him anymore, or Tony Stark's drunk, or Daredevil's alive, whatever.
Daredevil's a what?
Alive. That's sad enough.
Oh, alive. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said aha.
Yeah.
I misunderstood your Southern accent, which I love both your Southern accents, by the way.
I can make it worse if I need to.
Please do. I love Southern accents.
See, we didn't even have to say where we're from when
we're Southern. Hey, we're Southern. I know. I'm all right with it.
By the way, if you haven't noticed, I'm saying y'all, and it's not to mock you. It's because I've noticed that you guys is not gender inclusive. So I have appropriated y'all.
I'm so used to it, I don't even notice when people say it.
Okay. I've appropriated it in my Northern Yankee girlness. There is a video that is going to come out before this one where another Southern friend gifted me y'all. So my other Southern friend said it is okay.
Hey, have at it. Have at it.
Thank you. 3 Southern friends okayed it. So it's good now.
It's all right. You can have it. We'll let you do it.
I love y'all. It is all inclusive. It's beautiful.
It's like ketchup.
Thank y'all for y'all.
Oh, y'all are so welcome. But
anyways, go on. I'm sorry. I really did misunderstand. I was not making fun of you.
Oh no, I was just throwing anybody who likes Daredevil under the bus. It's okay. But no, I mean, this would fit in so much better in a Marvel book, because, you know, DC doesn't
making the heroes very Marvelish, and Marvel. DC, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No, go ahead.
DC makes their heroes like kind of impenetrable moral fortresses, and Marvel is like they're down to earth.
Yes.
Human. And both are valid. Like, it's just which storytelling.
Right. And it's
you appeals to.
And so from that, it's more of like a Marvel type story. Like,
that's fair.
You would expect, I don't know, pick a random Marvel character, this to happen to them. You know, you're like, oh, this would make sense. I could totally see the Avengers lobotomizing people. You know, that would make more sense. Or the X-Men.
I think mutants.
Because, you know, Professor X just messes with everybody's head. So
oh my gosh, Professor X is so morally gray. Like, for it, I kind of love it. I really love it from Magneto. But
so from that standpoint, 1 or 2 stories like this in the DC universe is okay in my mind. I think this should open the door, though, a little bit to show them, oh, we can make our characters depressing as hell too. And it doesn't work in their universe.
Death to obviously now.
Oh yeah, because it's a crisis. People have to die. So
Yes.
Firestorm died for no reason whatsoever.
Is that the order?
With his
Which Firestorm was this? Which
it was the original Ronnie Raymond Firestorm.
Oh.
Which also it was the next year they brought out the new Jason Rush Firestorm. So it was okay for him to die. The big death that really pissed me off on here was when they killed Tim Drake's dad.
That was such crap.
Because
I didn't
Tim
realize
Drake
it was
was
in this story.
Yes.
Why was
Tim
that
Drake.
in the story?
I never understood it because Tim Drake was, even though I'm such a big Dick Grayson fan, Tim Drake was like the coolest member of the Bat family because he was like the anti-Bat.
Oh my God, his dad did not need to die.
Oh, and the only reason it was where he could have a sad story and Bruce Wayne would adopt him. It's like, no, Tim Drake was awesome because he had a real life and he was well adjusted. He wanted to be Robin.
Oh.
So,
see.
yeah. Yes.
Again, DC not getting what makes characters great and resonate with the audience.
But the good thing about this story, this was where we got the revamped version of the Calculator. Where he became the evil Oracle, as opposed to, and I'm sorry, his 1980s costume with the numbers all over it and the screen was awesome. I'm not gonna lie, but this version of the Calculator was so much better.
Someone should do that costume.
I want to.
You wanted to do.
You should do that. Okay, you need to do it.
Well, you wanted to do Crazy Quilt, didn't you?
No, I didn't want to do Crazy Quilt. I wanted to do Calendar Man.
Calendar Man. Yeah, he likes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. The wacky Batman villains are the best ones. I don't care about the Joker. I love you, Chris Jowers, but forget the Joker. Give me the old original goofy Firefly with his bright Technicolor Dreamcoat costume, Killer Moth with his pants. I love all of that.
And Condiment King.
Oh, of course. Of course.
I love Condiment King.
This version of Calculator, the anti-Oracle was such a cool idea. So you couldn't have had him without this story either. And my favorite thing about it, they reestablished Deathstroke as an actual A-list badass villain.
Yes.
Where
I love Deathstroke.
In in issue 3, he kicked the shit out of the entire Justice League in 2 pages. So
yes, that is the Deathstroke that has
we'll finish that costume soon.
Yes, that's so.
Yes,
yeah,
please.
Yeah, there are a lot of there's a lot of good stuff in it too. But yeah,
I hate the commercials in there. It's always milk.
But yeah,
those make me laugh though. It's like a time capsule.
Yes.
Deathstroke.
And
so her costume changed in it, so they're going back and forth. Okay.
And I mean, also because I'm such a fan of reminding everyone that the girl characters are so awesome, the main 2 people he had to take out were Zatanna and Black Canary.
Yes, Canary!
Yes.
And not to be too loud, but yes, Canary. And also Zatanna is my girl.
And sadly though, most of the story, Zatanna was in her fishnets and top hat. And I'm sorry, but the original, the George Perez costume is still the best one.
That is the best one.
With the random for no reason snake head on top of her head.
Okay, so I am partial to the fishnets and top hat look. I do love that look, but the George Perez look is so
good. Yes.
That costume is in there too.
Yeah, it is in the beginning when they're in that time frame. But yeah, so I'm monopolizing talk.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I like hearing Micah's perspective because she didn't grow up reading comics like I did, so it's all brand new to her.
I didn't grow up reading comics either. I picked them up in my 20s.
I think the closest I did to comics is probably Garfield.
That counts.
My dad's like, she won't read, so let's put some pictures in there. So he threw Garfield at me.
That is the way to do it, though. So many kids, there's so many people I know, that is their origin story for how they started reading, which parents, give your kids comics.
I learned to read reading comics.
Age-appropriate comics. But I don't know if you guys are friends with Josh Elder, but he had that whole reading with pictures.
Yeah.
It's a great initiative. Anyway, so Micah, why do you love this story?
I figure out where we're at with the whole.
Okay, so Deathstroke just bought the Justice League.
Yeah, so we're jumping all around. I'm not going by any order because I already killed Tim Drake's dad before Deathstroke beat everybody up. So.
You killed Tim Drake's dad, you monster.
I did.
Tim Drake.
The Firestorm thing kind of threw me off. So, but obviously, loved ones are being killed off, right?
Well, yeah,
that's the thought of it. That
someone's targeting the Justice League's loved ones. So Superman's out. What's going to happen to Lois? And they focus a lot on the Atom because the Atom's awesome. I'm not gonna lie. That's one. That
was Grayson's favorite.
Yeah, no, the Atom's awesome. I've always loved the Atom.
And let's be clear, which Atom are we talking?
Ray Palmer.
Thank you. I knew, but the people at home knew.
Well, I mean, Ryan Choi was pretty cool too, because Gail Simone wrote him so awesome. But no,
I love her. But no,
Ray
Palmer at this point in time.
Ray Palmer's the Atom. Ray Palmer's awesome. Unless you watch Legends of Tomorrow, then Ray Palmer sucks. I'm sorry.
Same route.
CW, whoever was in charge of that, you made the smartest man in the DC universe too stupid to figure out how to make his suit shrink. F you. Just saying.
So how did
such a charismatic actor and yet such bad writing?
Yes.
So was it Boomerang or who?
It was Captain Boomerang who killed Tim Drake's dad, and then he got killed because they did a lot of house cleaning in this too because they had the new Captain Boomerang they were bringing up, so they had to kill the old one. Yeah,
this sounds like my soap operas. They didn't sign their contract, so
no comic book. Comic books
are soap operas.
Yeah, they are. They all came out. They all came out around that same time of serialized fiction. Yep. So, yeah.
They go on for decades. They feature the same characters.
Do they come back as like a twin?
Come back. Relationships last for decades and people break up. Then there's drama and weddings and,
except
soap operas.
Except the superheroes can juggle planets and the soap opera people have a lot of money.
There was one soap opera that actually had superheroes and like superpowers and stuff.
The Guiding Light.
Yeah. They tried to do.
They had a tie-in with Marvel Comics and Spider-Man was on there.
I would watch that.
Yes. But
superheroes are soap operas with superpowers. So anyone who tries to say differently does not read comics.
That's right. Yeah. Batman did not figure out who done it first, which is such a weird thing in comics back then. Because Batman.
I love that.
But yeah, now they did make it where like he figured it out at almost the same time, but he wasn't the first. So
nice.
So that's always good. But
again, I'm like,
who figured it out first then?
Well, Dr. Midnight, because he was the one performing the autopsy.
Nice. Dr. Midnight is so smart and so underrated.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure Ray Palmer figured it out too, at the same time too.
As
full disclosure, I didn't reread this before the second recording, so I don't remember what order who figured what out in.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to do the reveal now? Dun, dun, dun,
Again,
dun.
it's 16 years. If no one's read it by now,
You're allowed. Yeah. Yes.
So you end up finding
All of
out.
my videos, people should expect to be spoiled.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, they're going through and there's constant oh, well, this villain did it. Oh, well, this person did it. And then the Adams ex-wife, Jean Loring, got attacked. And someone tried to hang her. So that means that they're like, oh, well, the villain Slipknot did it because his superpower is knots. I was like, seriously. And so there was more attention on all of these loved ones getting attacked. And then Tim Drake's dad gets killed. And the whole time they're still doing the autopsy on Sue, trying to figure this and that out. And then it turns out she didn't die from the fire. She died from
was it a brain
aneurysm. So in the process of examining her brain, Dr. Midnight finds 2 tiny footprints on her frontal lobe. Because Jean Loring, who even way back in the 70s, they wrote having mental health issues, was sad about the divorce from Ray Palmer and wanted to get back together and thought the best way to do it was he had to save her. So she borrowed Ray's old spare costume and was going to scare Sue, but she didn't know how to make the Adam's trick of traveling through the phone lines work properly. So when Sue picked up the phone, she went straight through the phone line and straight into Sue's ear and bumped on her brain.
That is super sad.
So
when I read that part, I didn't put 2 and 2 together that it was her because I didn't know that you could just put on the suit and do that.
Yeah. Ray Palmer didn't have any
superpowers. I was really confused on reading that part.
Yeah, Ray Palmer was one of the super scientists of the DC universe. He had this suit powered by white dwarf star matter that he found in a cave because, of course, that's where you find it. And
where else would you find it?
Exactly. And
flying around in a cave.
So she killed Sue by accident, and to cover up doing it, she burnt her body alive and started sending threats to all the other heroes' loved ones and faked her own attack, and all is just so she could get back with Ray. Let's see, how did she word it?
So I'm confused though. Did she hire Boomerang for the?
She hired Boomerang. She specifically talked to the calculator and basically said, I want someone who's not really good at their job to scare Tim Drake's dad. And
see, a lot of that she was like trying to kill anybody.
But at this time, Captain Boomerang was real down on his luck, and he was kind of like what they ended up saying about Catman, except he never got to go live with lions and become badass. And so he was going to do it, and she didn't think anything was going to happen.
That is deeply sad.
Yeah, and when Ray finally figures it out and he confronts her, he was like, she's like, I didn't mean to. What she says, I really did.
Doesn't make it okay.
Right.
And
cool motive, still murder.
She was afraid that if they tried to get back together, they wouldn't have the same spark. But once you were here to save me, it was just like the old days. Yeah. So, yeah, it was all just to get back with her ex. And
messed up, babe.
Yeah.
Messed up.
And I will openly admit that I missed New Comic Book Day when issue 7 came out. And I was so determined to find out who did it. I went to another comic store and bought it out of their back issue bin for like $8. You didn't know that part until today. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
When I opened it up and I read it, I was floored, and yeah, I felt so bad for Ray Palmer because he was such a nice guy and didn't deserve any of that, and neither did Ralph Dibny.
No, they did not. Actual nice guys.
Yes, and it was 2004, so the beginning stages of the internet was around. She could have gone on primitive Tinder and found somebody.
Right.
So
granted, she would not have found a superhero. Like, once you're a superhero, you can't go back.
that's not true. That's not true. If there's a farmers only, I'm sure there's like a Capes R Us or something.
Capes R Us.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know,
You're gonna make me pee.
I want this now. I want this like in universe for DC.
yeah. So, but yeah, it's a super depressing ass story, but there were a lot of things in it that if it wasn't for this story would have never happened. So
True. Like you said, that's also my favorite after the story.
Yeah.
Also my favorite time in DC after the story and up to the new 52, which we're not going to talk about.
no.
Because I hear that she's back. Sue, right?
I don't know. We're not talking.
Oh, okay, good.
Now that we've like broken y'all, again, I'm appropriating it with this. Now that we've broken y'all with our description of one of the more depressing stories, now you have recommendations. So go out and read them and then come back and comment and let us know what you think.
Yes.
So thank you, Micah and Cliff, for coming on the show. This was very fun. And thank you everyone for watching.
Yay.
Thank you. Come again.
Yeah, come again. Do all the things. Like I always forget this part, so I'm getting better at it. So hit the like button, share, and comment. Yeah. Go on there. Ring that bell. Thank you.